Seriously, Disney? That is grim. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unsettling Disney animated movie moments. For this list, we're focusing on scenes from Disney movies that made us feel disturbed, uneasy, and/or unsure. Whether they creeped us out as kids or haunted us as adults, they'll make the cut. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
We fell in love over the phone, across the ocean, in different time zones, infatuated by a barbarian from Algeria. Names
Number 10. What happens to Bambi's mother? Bambi.
Bambi, quick! The thicket!
Disney has never shied away from dark themes, and it frequently features characters dying in its movies. But this iconic scene from Bambi has a certain eeriness about it. Whether it's because we never actually see Bambi's mother's final moments, or the fact that Bambi is left alone and searching for her, there's just something that instills a strange sense of abandonment that we as viewers can't help but feel ourselves. Of course, the echoing gunshot from the hunter's rifle is a dagger in our hearts. Thanks to that, whenever we hear a distant bang, we are haunted by the saddening cry of Bambi's helpless calls for his mother. Number 9. The Spinning Wheel. Sleeping Beauty.
Listen well, all of you.
It's easy to overlook the dark nature of Sleeping Beauty, especially as a kid. It's about a princess who can only be awakened by her true love's kiss. Nice, right? But it's the stuff that happens beforehand that's really creepy. She's cursed by an evil fairy who proclaims she will prick her finger on a spinning wheel and die before she turns 16.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die.
Luckily, 3 good fairies are able to lessen the curse so that she'd fall into a deep, never-ending sleep instead. But it's the way everything plays out that lands it here. There's a sharp, creepy spinning wheel, and Aurora becomes hypnotized and follows an insidious green glow through the castle. Then there's Maleficent's reverberating voice in her head. Be afraid of fairies, people. Be very afraid.
Touch it, I say.
Number 8. Clayton's Fate. Tarzan.
Clayton, help!
Have we met? Ah, yes, the ape man.
Clayton's the worst, right? He's a relentless man on a mission who sets his sight on destruction and will stop at nothing to achieve it. This scene from Tarzan brings his journey to a rather gruesome end. First of all, the vibrant, colorful setting of the movie fades into a misty darkness as Tarzan is chased by gunfire. There are bullets flying, blades slicing, and eventually a man hanging. As Clayton claws at the vines he's tangled in, he inadvertently cuts the wrong one and hangs himself.
Clayton! Clayton, don't!
Again, similar to Bambi's mom, we're left to piece together what happens off-screen, but it doesn't make it any less disturbing. Number 7. The Walrus and the Carpenter. Alice in Wonderland.
Well, the time has come, the walrus said, to talk of other things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings.
Okay, so we've probably all sung joyously along to this song at some point. It's just so catchy. But have you ever stopped to listen to the words? Once you look past the colorful characters, the story of the curious oysters is about a man, or a walrus, who coerces a family of happy oysters out of the sea so he can eat them.
Oh, oysters, come and walk with us. The day is warm and bright. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk would be a sheer delight.
And these are cute little baby oysters we're talking about, with bonnets and everything, that are led away from their mother who's attempting to shelter them from danger.
The sea's nice. Take my advice and stay right here.
Mum said.
Yes, of course, but, ha-ha!
The contrast of the happy tune and the bleak fate of the oysters remind us that you shouldn't trust anyone ever, especially not if they're a walrus in a top hat.
Listen, how about some pepper and salt and vinegar, eh?
Oh, yes, splendid idea. Very good indeed.
Number 6. The Incinerator, Toy Story 3. Many of us grew up with Woody, Buzz, and friends as a beacon of our collective childhood. And that's what makes the incinerator scene from Toy Story 3 so soul-destroying. Our favorite toys have a knack for getting out of sticky situations, whether it's being trapped to a rocket, stranded miles away from home, or being stolen at a yard sale.
No, he's stealing Woody.
What? Stealing? He can't take Woody, it's illegal.
Where's he going?
Do something.
But in this scene, with the toys edging closer and closer to a fiery, frothing furnace, they're all out of ideas. So they accept their fate, hold hands, and, well, that's it.
What do we do?
At this point, the toys cease to be toys. They are scared, real people about to be melted. How grim is that? Number 5. Pink elephants on parade. Dumbo. Anyone here like elephants? You won't in a minute. In this scene from Dumbo, the eponymous baby elephant and Timothy accidentally get drunk on champagne.
The whole circus is going to be proud of you. Now, what do you think of that?
Okay, we'll look past that. But the next part, we cannot forgive or forget. For some reason, Disney suggests that because Dumbo is drunk, he hallucinates nightmarish dancing elephants. Which, as you can see, is less like the effects of alcohol and more like LSD. And these elephants are truly terrifying. The whole thing plays out like a scene from Fantasia on steroids. Bad trip, man. Bad trip.
Look out! Pink elephants on parade, here they come, hippity-hoppity. They're here, and there, pink elephants everywhere.
Number 4. The Stampede, The Lion King.
No. This is just for you and your daddy. You know, a sort of father-son thing.
We've already talked about certain characters' fates being decided off-screen, but in this scene from The Lion King, we experience the horrific nature and aftermath of a stampede firsthand. Not only do we follow the swelling danger of the stampede through Simba's eyes as he clambers up the tree to survive, but of course there's also the matter of his father Mufasa.
Hold on, Simba!
After being emotionally battered from the ordeal, Simba goes in search of his dad, only to find his lifeless body lying on the ground, after which the cub proceeds to nudge Mufasa in an attempt to wake him up.
Dad? Dad, come on. You gotta get up.
Losing a parent is one of the hardest things any of us will have to endure, and this violent and saddening scene hits extremely close to home. Number 3. Humiliation, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Judge Frollo is probably the most obvious thing that scares the pants off of us in this movie, especially his Hellfire song.
Destroy Esmeralda, and let her taste the fires of hell, or else let her be mine and mine alone.
But this street scene with Quasimodo is absolutely heartbreaking.
You think he's ugly now? Watch this.
Being different is a daily problem for Quasimodo, and just when he thinks he's starting to fit in during a local festival, he's ridiculed, belittled, and tied down, left crying for help in a flash. Even though this is a kids' movie, the scene is shockingly real and relatable, and reminds us how dangerous and harmful prejudice can be. We watch knowing Quasimodo will likely rise above it and have a happy ending, but it still doesn't make it any less heartbreaking.
Master, please, help me!
Number 2. The Army of the Dead, The Black Cauldron. The scene may not have any particular unusual elements to it, at least by movie standards, but it plays out like a greatest hits of spine-chilling terrors. First of all, there's the Horned King, voiced by John Hurt, who is all kinds of freaky.
My, such a brave and handsome group. A pig boy, a scullery maid, and a broken-down minstrel.
Then there's his petrifying ritual that brings his army of the dead back to life.
Arise, my messengers of death.
Apparitions shoot from the dreaded Black Cauldron, and a fiery skull hovers in the sky above. Chances are, as a kid, you looked away during this part, and honestly, we don't blame you.
Go forth, my deathless warriors. Destroy all in your path.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Pleasure Island, Pinocchio.
You'd think something was gonna happen to us.
For many of us, this scene from Pinocchio ruined going to camp when we were kids. Why? Well, because we didn't want to be turned into a donkey and sold into slave labor. Yeah, that's right. The dreaded Pleasure Island sequence from Pinocchio is every child and parent's worst nightmare.
What's going on?
Pleasure Island is a cursed place where misbehaving boys are turned into donkeys, and the transformation is pretty disturbing. Luckily, Pinocchio manages to escape with only donkey ears and a tail, but the idea of being lured away to a strange place where you're mistreated and exploited is absolutely terrifying. Come on, Disney, jeez.
Come on, quick, before they get any worse.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.